Okay, we're going. We're live. So everyone sees just the logo of the cash cow, right? Okay. Of course, any question, just type them in the chat box. So, does this Craigslist system make money for us, and does it help the owners? Well, let's see. I'm just going to show you a real quick glance at one of my accounts. Real quick. This is over a few months, of course, but one phone number, 833 calls, 395 transfers. Another 121 calls, 51 transfers. That's over a few months, but almost 1,000 calls. So, not bad for $10 a call. A quick 10 grand. So it works. If you just pick the right niche and do it this way. Okay. Craigslist Cash Cow. It's a good name. So we're going to start now, and I guess you can't see my screen, so I'm going to pull this over. Okay. Everybody on board now? Everybody's good to go. Okay, I'm going to talk about this Excel spreadsheet and how it relates to the software and how it's really easy with this system to have 40, 50, 100 accounts, which can create roughly 100 calls a day. Okay, roughly. So, here it is in a nutshell. Of course, I've told everyone that I just use the jobs category, and right now I'm in mostly the health category, but I'm experimenting on new niches. Okay. So, any questions, just type them in the chat box. But I'm going to show you how you can log into an account, log out, log in, log out, post, change IP addresses, change cities, and keep posting and renew ads and just go as fast as you can, as fast as Craigslist allows you. And more importantly, that a virtual assistant, a VA with an average intelligence, can learn this after getting some training for a few days, possibly a week. But it's still nothing as difficult as the CladGenius software. That was absolutely impossible for a VA to learn. So, trying to mute you guys. There we go. Okay. For some reason, chat going to lose sometimes. Okay, I got your chat box here. Everybody's on track. Okay, what we're looking at here is an Excel spreadsheet that I made, and it has at this point, how many accounts do I have? Well, it's 53 and some, yeah, roughly 50 accounts. Okay, these are 50 accounts that a virtual assistant can could in 8 hours a day pretty much post all these accounts. Okay, so I'm going to go over this, and then I'll show you the software, and then I'll show you how the software works with an IP changer and so forth and so on. So this spreadsheet is not completely done yet. I am trying to get an Excel expert to code this more so it automatically changes and updates. In other words, these are Craigslist accounts, not your email account, but your Craigslist email and your password for Craigslist. City that you're going to post in, the PVA number, which I haven't put in, your client, your campaign, the date your first ad goes live, does not get deleted or ghosted, and then the IP address you used, which is very important. And then as you go out over the sheet, you can see you can put the renew date in, so your VA knows the time to renew. Second ad posted live, renew date, third ad for that account, renew date for the third ad. Run. And you go all the way out to the third ad posted, a renew date, and then I added some other columns out here to kind of keep track of the calls if you want to have your VA or yourself do that. It's a good idea to track calls at least once a week. I suggest that you never let your accounts go longer than a week. Don't let anybody say, well, it's 30 days net. That doesn't work with these people. It's 7 days, and you send a bill. If it's a really good client that you work with a while, you can go all the way out to a month. As long as you absolutely know they have money and you're going to get paid and they're not going to go out of business. Like one of my big clients. You have to work with them because that's the way they do it. But if this is a new client and you want to give them a few calls, you can tell your VA to check the calls, go into wherever you're tracking, whatever tracking software you're using, and say, I want you to track the calls, and when 3 calls hits, I want you to stop posting, and I want you to contact that owner. There should be an agreement in place, and say, okay, from this date on, the calls are going to be $10 a call, $12 a call, whatever you negotiate with. And then you have to keep track of the calls. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. The only thing that matters in this business is phone calls to the client. They want calls. You have to get them calls. I mean, that's how you're getting paid. That's how they're building their business. So, and that's what we're doing. Okay, we're getting them calls. And the more posts you put up, the more calls they're going to get, the more money you make. So, with a really good system, you can post, you and a VA or 2 VAs can post a lot of posts in one day. A lot of them. And I'm going to show you how. Okay. I'll be going over this again, so don't worry. Like everything else, it's a work in progress. But this is going to be your cornerstone of staying organized once you get a bunch of client or one client with a bunch of locations. Because Craigslist, as you know, it's 48 hours before you can post again or renew the ad, and you can't rush it, you can't force it, you just have to go at their pace. And the only way to get more calls is to have more accounts. So here is an example. I've got, these are all Craigslist accounts. These are the passwords, the cities. Charleston, they're all for a dental school. I use the same IP address because I live here. But they also have locations in other cities, Savannah. So I changed the IP address. I'll show you how to do that in a second. And then I changed the IP address from Myrtle Beach, changed it for Columbia, I changed it for Augusta, Valdosta, Silver Springs, Maryland, Atlanta. So what we found is that you do not have to have an IP address in these cities. You just have to have an IP address exclusively for that city. Okay, if that makes any sense. In other words, if I'm using this IP address up here for all these accounts in Charleston, it doesn't make sense to Craigslist that I would all of a sudden have a different IP address and post in these other cities. It just, most of the time, it just doesn't work. And if you buy the accounts like I do, I bought these 4 accounts for Savannah, Georgia, and all I did was copy. In fact, I bought, well, all of these accounts, and all I did was copy and paste the accounts, the city, and I'm going to copy the PVA numbers here. That's all I'm doing. And then you just have to get an IP address that is specific for that city. It can be another Charleston IP, but as long as you set up your Craigslist account or it was made for you in that city, then you just need to use an IP and keep using it over and over again for that city. I mean, you can use that IP for months or even a year. Okay, and I'll show you my list of IPs. So as you see, as I go down here, I changed the IP for each city all the way down. And so this is the sheet, and my vision is that VAs that work for me will each have an Excel sheet like this with the accounts in the cities, and it's their responsibility to post with these accounts, fill this sheet out, get the ads live, count the calls, and know how to, when they leave a city, go to the next city, how to log out, change the IP address, log back in, and post for this city. Then log out, log back in, change the IP, and go to that city, and that city, and that city. And they can do that all around the United States. And every day they have to send me a copy of the spreadsheet of what they did and where they posted and if the ads were live or not. And if you can find people to learn this, then the only hard part is getting more clients. That's it. I mean, the phone will absolutely ring if you use the jobs category in Craigslist. There's just tens of thousands of people going to that category. So there's so many people going there that someone is always going to see your ad and call. So this is the spreadsheet. So let me put that down. And pull up the, never mind, your answered IPs are, yeah. Let me pull up the software. Okay, here's the software. Now, this is the IP address that is my home IP address right now. So, let me see here. There we go. So, I wanted to show you this particular account because my VA screwed it up, and it's a good example of how to screw up an account. This account was made for me for Charleston. You can see the CHAS. These are all abbreviations for all the cities, okay, which we have in the software. So we have any city you want in the US here and down here. Okay. And we have exactly the way Craigslist has it set up. Our software is almost a mirror image of Craigslist, only you're not in Craigslist. By the way, before I forget to tell you, Craigslist just had an update of their... Let me get this out of here. Craigslist just had an update of their code. So when I went in to put like 8 or 10 more accounts in the drop-down, they didn't go in. So I called up my developer and said, I put the new accounts in the software and they didn't go in the drop-down. So he gets, I don't know how he finds updates from Craigslist, but he said, yep, they had an update today which affected the accounts, so I'm going to have to go in and change the code a little bit to comply. Then all the accounts will go in. Now, this happens about once a week, so this is why we have to have the ongoing monthly payment, because without that it's not going to work, because they're going to change the code all the time. It's not major changes. We've had to do this 3 times already, but every time he figures it out and it works. So but that's what we live with. To be in this business, you have to be able to comply, and fortunately my developer Ali has figured it out. So this is an account that was set up originally for Charleston, and she tried to post in Savannah. That's a no-no, because once it's set up in a city, you have to stay in that city. You can't be posting for all kinds of of different cities. So if you buy, when I order accounts, like my last order was, I ordered 2 accounts, complete, phone verified for 2 cities in Maryland and 3 in Atlanta. So, but anyway, it just doesn't work. It'll get deleted. So then I said, you got to post in Charleston. And she posted, and it was a good ad. And when I bought the account, he makes a sample post in the city I tell him, and then that's it. So anyway, so that's an example. And to change an account, you just, go, you have to log out first. You can clear your cache. You can log back in. And you're in another account. These accounts up top here are all old accounts, like old that were partly screwed up, and I tried to save them, and so I've done the best I could. And you can see all these we haven't even reposted yet. So I could repost all them. And when I look at these posts, I average. My goal is to get 2 calls, at least 2 calls per post. And if I'm getting $10 for a call, that's $20 a post. If you can post 50 posts a day times $20, that's $1,000 a day. That's the way I kind of gauge it. If you can talk somebody into $10 a post, and you're in this jobs category. And that's about what happens. That's how many calls you get. So the key is to post fast, but not too fast that it gets you flagged from Craigslist. And I don't know how else to explain it. So to how fast you can go, you just have to do it. You have to do it, and do it. Screw up. Figure out that you're going too fast. And then if you screw the account up too bad, you just got to throw the account out and buy another one. Sometimes it's not worth trying to save an account. That's an old account. This is so we log out of that account, log back in, and auto parts. Yeah, she did something wrong with this one. Yeah, these old accounts are just bad. Once you get a bad rap on an account, it's a problem. So you have to really do it right from the beginning. And I always suggest, I'm experimenting with this, your first ads on an account should be text only and not even a lot of text. I'm not going to say you can never use images, because a lot of people have, but my gut tells me that you're going to get a lot more ads that stick and renew if you only use text. Now, I can't prove that, but I have some new accounts that I'm trying with images, and I have about half of my accounts with text only. So if my image ads have problems, I'm throwing all images out, because you don't need them. Those 1,000 calls I showed you, those ads have no images, not one single image in all those calls, on all those posts. Okay, so that tells you something. But images look good, they impress people. It's just, how big an image is, I don't know. You just have to experiment. But if I start using images and those ads get deleted or ghosted, I'm just yanking them immediately because it's not worth it. Because I'd rather go slower on the posting and get them to stick. I'd rather not use images. The people that I've known that are successful at this don't use many images. But go ahead and try. Maybe in your niche it's very, very competitive and maybe you have to. I wouldn't think so. Just let everybody else think they have to use images and they're going to get ghosted and flagged, and you just go in with text posts with just a few lines or 5 lines, and your ads are going to stick. Because that's how Craigslist started. Just text. Just text. So, but we'll see. So, changing the IP. So let's just say you want to change this IP to something else. I'm using, let's lower that. I'm using this, which I just got, and it's a Proxy Switcher Pro. I don't know if any of you guys have it. It's a little pricey, but I have a version that Ali got for me, so I might be able to let you guys use it. Maybe, I don't know. I just started today with it, but this shows. Everybody with me? Still there? Okay, just want to make sure you're all with me. Okay, these are 10 IP addresses I bought from Squid Proxies. They're private IP addresses, which means they're good. They're going to fly with Craigslist. No one's ever used them before. And so I'm going to kind of stick with these. They're really not that expensive. So if you want to change your IP, you just highlight this and switch to the selected proxy. That's it. You'll see the two wires or whatever they are click together. Direct connection to that IP address. 58.246. Let's go back to the software and you are 173.234.58.246. You are now in a completely different location, ready to post in a new city. It's that easy. I use Firefox as my default browser. Firefox is, you set it to, you go to Internet Options and it just says use system settings for proxies, for IP address. For network connections, use system settings. And you will be, that's it. That's as easy as it is to change them. If you do not have the software, then the only other way would be to go into Internet Explorer and go to Internet Options, Connections, go down to LAN settings, and then you'll say Use Proxy, and you click on Use Proxy, then you have to type in the IP and the port, and then hit OK, and it changes that way too. If you don't have an automatic switcher, you can change it in Internet Explorer. So this is pretty cool. So now you're in a different city and you can just post away. And where's that software at? So there it is. And so I'm just changing manually. This software does all kinds of stuff. It'll automatically change. It'll go find you, 5,000 proxies, and it'll check them to see which ones are good and private. It does it all. It checks them, and you can automatically change your proxy and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it does everything. You can add proxies. You can add proxies manually just by clicking there, and you just add your proxy. So it does all kinds of stuff. So that's the easiest way. So we got the proxies, change your IP address. We have the software. And of course, for new accounts, you would, let's do a new account here. Let's go back to the, this is, when I buy the accounts, this is how they come from, what's that guy's name? Line Command, I get them from voiceoverlines.com. I just buy 10 or 20 accounts at a time. They come completely complete Craigslist account, phone verified with the phone number. You never have to really verify it with the phone number because he's already done it. And you can say what city you want. So in this case, I wanted four for 5 different cities, and that was cool. Copy and paste them into the Excel sheet. And okay, one other thing. How do you add accounts to the software? Okay, now when you load the software, you're going to get, just say shortcut to desktop after you load it. Okay, and then you will have to get in there, open it up. You have to go into, show you how to load accounts. Just go into your program files. If it's C86, you'll have a folder called default company name. You got a desktop app here, and open it up, and these are all the files basically in Craigslist. So we put our accounts in the privacy file. So if you open that up, you will see all my accounts. And if I ordered 10 new accounts, I would just copy and paste those here. Make sure you use the colon and the password. It has to be a colon and the password. Copy and paste them, your new accounts, and then take this and you copy and paste this file, or just drag it over to the privacy folder and say replace privacy folder. I'm sure you guys have done that 100 times before. And as soon as you add those accounts in a privacy file, you probably have to turn the, log out of the software, log back in, and you'll see the new accounts in there. Let's try that account. Ugh. Clear your cache. Log in. Look at all these. I could repost, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, And then these have all just been posted. So we're slacking on this one, and all these deleted ones is when I was using the Clad Genius automated software, which is why I changed. Now they're active. Tunnel houses, let's see. I mean, I didn't do these. I had a VA do these, but I mean, like, she renewed 4 ads on the same day, and and 2 of them are the same. I don't know how these got okayed, but they did. See, the key is, once you start an account in a city, just stay in that city. Don't mess around and try to use other cities. Stay in that city and wait for the renew button to come out, and then renew. Don't force a renew. So, I mean, there's a lot of money sitting here. I mean, there's probably, oh God, there's probably a couple $100 sitting right there for me. $200 or $300. All I'd have to do is post them. Anyway, I think you're getting the gist. How to change the IP. Let's go back and let's see, where's that? Let's go back and go back to the normal IP in my city. You just go here, disconnect it, go back to the city. Go back to the software, sorry. And change the IP. Did it change? Yeah. Okay. It changed back to my normal IP. So you're in a different city now. That's all there is to it. And you just, so once you get your spreadsheet set up, okay, in all your different cities, you got good accounts, you get your first ad go live, you have a good IP address, it's a good ad, you don't, you know, the general rule is, you know, in the beginning, put less on your ad. You don't want, you know, 4 paragraphs and 3 images, and that just screws. It just gives Craigslist and all your competitors a reason to flag your ad, okay? Because they think, and this is the trick that they don't know, they think that more is better. It's actually the opposite. Less is better. So if you want to go into a niche and you don't know what city to go into, go to the city, look at all the ads in the niche, look at the person that's posting the most ads. If he has a bunch of big ads with images all over the place and stuff, go there and just start posting simple text ads, and you'll blow them away because your ads will stick longer. And he'll try to flag you, but it's almost impossible because Craigslist says, well, what's there to flag? He's not doing anything wrong. He's in the city. He's got an IP address, got a phone number, local phone number, no problem. So, but they don't think that. You know, they think more is better, and then they fight with you and all that. So, I don't know. So this is the sheet. It's not filled out yet, but I have to train my VA on how to use it, and that's going to take a day or two. But I think once she understands, well, right now she doesn't really know what an IP is that well, but, you know, she's going to have to know, or I have to fire her. And she'll just have to know, when she starts working, she'll start at the top of the Excel sheet and work her way down every day. And I think that when I put a first live ad date here, it would be nice if the renew date would automatically go here and kind of flash in red or something like that. That way, or green, and then she checks the Excel sheet, and she'll see all these renew dates, all over the page, and then she just says, boom. So I'll look at the sheet, and she'll go renew, 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 and then at the bottom of the sheet, I'll have the new accounts. Like tomorrow, these are 5 new accounts that I will have to. I got a client that's going into debt relief. He's got software that gets people out of debt. He thinks it's great, and he wants to go nationwide. So I go, and I think it's going to work because there are a lot of people with bad credit. So I think he's going to get a lot of calls. Anyway, and then the new accounts will be at the bottom of the sheet. So she'll go start at the top, renew, 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 repost, repost, all the way down. She'll get to the bottom. She gets through that. She gets to the bottom, and then she'll post on the new accounts. Now, the new accounts are definitely harder for these VAs than the renews. That's common sense. So, and getting the concept of IPs, always look, you've been renewing up here in this IP, but when you get down to this IP, you have to go to the software, change the IP, and don't forget it. And that's what they're going to have. I'm going to have to fix that in their brain. Oh, by the way, I have my employees post on my computers. I use TeamViewer, and so I'm sitting here watching them post when I'm here. Okay, and I've caught some of them. I get my employees at Odesk, and for this type of work, I do by the hour. How much is TeamViewer's free? 100% free. It's just a remote software that almost everybody has. It was for 40 hours a week. I tried not to pay over $3 an hour for my posters. Does that make me a bad person? Come on, be honest. No. Good. Thanks, Lou. Appreciate it. And I will, if she can learn these IPs, and I don't know if she can yet, then I'll raise her. I'll give her a raise to 4 or something. Yeah. What was I talking about? I lost my track of mind. TeamViewer. Yes. I'm kind of weird. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 computers, laptops, and I kind of planned this. This business a while ago, and I anticipated kind of fast expansion. So I give them hours to post, and they log on to TeamViewer. I give them the log on and password, and they log on. Like tomorrow, she'll log on at 3:30 in the afternoon, and she'll post 3 or 4 hours or something. And when she's done, she just logs off TeamViewer. And if I want to see what she charged me, she's she is watching. I mean, she has to use the Odesk viewer. You know, she has to. They view her while she's working. So, and I've caught this one a couple times. You know, I'm looking at my computer and it's just blank. There's nothing. There's no action going on. But the team viewer, yeah, I caught him. The team viewer is still active. I've caught her an hour. You know, she just, I don't know where she goes, to sleep or eats dinner or bathroom, who knows. But so you know, you got to be careful. But so my plan is to have at least 2 computers that are totally dedicated to posting, and then have my whole timetable set up for 4 or 5 different posters, or 6, because you never know who's good and who's bad and who's fast, and you know, so I think it's better to have multiple people. That way, if something happens in their life, you always got somebody else. And plus, I'm usually here watching, so I'll have 2 computers that people are posting on, and then I'll be doing other things on my other computer. So that's kind of the way I have it set up, and all I need is a really good salesperson that, you know, can call and get clients. And I don't see any end to it. But, you know, it's still a work in progress, and that's why I'm talking to you guys and telling you what I'm doing, and hopefully we can, help each other. So, any questions? I will be getting on it in the morning. Dave, laugh out loud. Okay, I wasn't talking about you, Dave. But, yeah, so questions, problems, anything about the software? Any questions about it? The latest version has the accounts and the passwords in the drop-down, but since we have to tweak it and change it a little bit, that won't be going out for a day or 2, because Ali has to fix it. Yeah, install instructions. It's the easiest software you've ever installed. It's just a Microsoft installer file. You click on it. Let's see, Rich, QQQ, is that proxyswitcher.com? .com. Yeah, can you rename the IPs in the switcher? Rename? I am not sure. I've not gone through everything in there, but it does a lot. Give them city names. Can you rename them? Oh, you mean just like give the IPs a tag name or something, or change the IP? Yeah, I think you can. That would be nice. You know, that would be really nice. I agree with you. It does a lot. I mean, it really does a lot. And as I said, I'll talk to Ali. If you guys don't have it, I think the pro version is $59 or something. But you know, Ali's got, I think he's got it, and we may be able to sell it to you guys real cheap. You know, if anybody wants it. I looked at proxyswitcher.net. It's a free one. It didn't do much. The free ones, I looked at both free ones, and they didn't do much. I mean, I couldn't find out how you could change the IPs like almost auto, like I just did. Just click on it and boom, it changes. I mean, I didn't see that in there. And that's all I wanted. I didn't want anything else. I just wanted where I could put the IPs in and click on them and it changes instantly. I mean, that's all I need. But it'll get you IPs also. I mean, when I first got it, in about a minute, it went out and got about 5,000 IPs. Of course, you know, 10 of them are going to be good, but you know, so if you don't want to buy your IPs, it'll find them for you, but then you have to test them, and you know, a lot of them aren't good. I mean, it's a mess. I've I've been using IPs a long time, and it's not worth the mess. It's just like the accounts. You know, when I first started, I was making my own accounts, emails, and it was just a pain. It takes all the fun out of the business. So now, man, I just order them. They're there within 24 hours. I paste them into the Excel sheet, paste them into the software. You're ready and rocking to go, man. If you get a new client and you need 10 accounts instantly, you can have them in a day in any city you want. I mean, that's cool. So if you get a client that's got a lot of locations all over the country, just say, I can handle that. How many cities you want to be in? I'll get you there the next day. It's that quick. And that's really cool. So, it's a work in progress, and I'm trying to think of other ways to streamline it, the whole system. And I'm hoping that you guys put your brains together, and in the Skype chat, you come up with ideas for the software. I don't know what my developer can integrate more in the software. I don't know what else we can do right now. I can't think of anything. But maybe something will pop up. The accounts are there. The clear the cache is there. The IP shows up. There is a browser, in there. Sometimes you have to verify the email account, and that browser doesn't do a good job of that, so we might be able to work on that so you don't even have to go out to click on the link that Craigslist sends you sometimes. But other than that, I don't know if we can integrate the Excel sheet with the software. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I'm gonna tweak the software and try to get it, the Excel sheet, and try to get it a little more automated, because that's really going to be the focus of, if you post or your VAs post, this will be your whole business right here, and this will be your business for every city in the United States, and hundreds of clients hopefully. So, and that's all I got, guys. I don't have many questions. Either you either understand it all, or hopefully you're amazed and happy, or you know all this already and you don't need to know it. You don't have any questions. So, but I've got what I need to, have 150 accounts and post 150 accounts a day, and make about $2,000 to $3,000 a day. That's my goal. Does that sound good? Do you have anything you can share on the sales side? Man, I can only say that the schools, of course I go in mainly schools, but a more of an independent type school, not a big technical college. For God's sakes, that would be wonderful. We have one here called Miller Mott in Charleston. They have about 15 or 20 locations, and they're all huge. And none of them do Craigslist. I've yet to find a technical college that does Craigslist. They do TV, they do online Google stuff, but they just don't do this. So, but starting out, let's try to get an independent business that works on Craigslist. And again, as I said, the jobs category, and then under jobs, healthcare, pharmacy tech, veterinary tech, Any of those, it'll work because people go in there looking for a job. As far as other niches, I don't know. I mean, I've done some posting for roofers in cities, and I didn't enjoy that too much. That's been beat up and used a lot. I like to find niches where it's kind of open and nobody knows about them. Right now I'm going into the, kind of insurance debt relief. I'll see what happens with that. Real estate isn't too good in Craigslist. I may try lawyers eventually. DOI lawyers do pretty good on Craigslist. I may try that. I don't know, but the jobs as categories is so easy right now. And there's so many of these different certificate schools out there. I mean, my one client, he probably makes, I know in one of his schools in Greenville, he nets $100,000 every 2 months, just in that one school that I post for him, at least. And the other schools, since I started posting, he's opened 3 new schools, and the schools that had 5 or 6 students now have like 30 or 40 since I've been posting. I'm not bragging, I'm just telling you. All Craigslist. I mean, more like what you want to speak to. Do you have a script? Do you ask for besides? That depends on the size of the business. I mean, if you go after a bigger business, you're going to have to go through 3 or 4 layers of people. But you really, a lot of the dental schools, assisting schools, are in dental offices. And they have one of their assistants that actually runs the school. But you eventually have to talk to the dentist or who's ever running the school. And it's just so easy to get them leads. I would go after smaller school, pharmacy tech schools, medical assistant schools, lab tech schools. I mean, when you think about it, I've been going down in my city up in I-26 here, and there's, for some reason, we have a lot of billboards right now for a medium-sized city, and about a third of them are all schools. They're just cleaning up now. They're just making money because people are out of work and they think they have to get a job, even a $30,000 a year job. They got to have some type of certificate, so they're all going to school. And there's a lot of government money, for these people. So the schools, it's almost like insurance. They make about, the technical colleges for a dental assistant school, they get about $7,000-8,000 because it's all financed. My client only gets $3,000 because he doesn't have federal financing, but he still has state financing. And so about a third of his clients get financed. But that's why it's so good, because it's not even money out of their pocket. It's just federal money. They're paying for it. And, I don't think the big schools and colleges aren't a prospect, but there's about 160 of these certificate schools out there. There's truck driving schools. There's auto mechanic certification schools. You don't need a number to forward the calls. Do you use a whisper feature in the call tracking? I have a forwarding number. I have a tracking number. You got to have a tracking number to show the client you got all the calls. Of course, they don't believe you. So when I send invoices out, I just write down the number of calls I got them. I go, $1,500, got you, 140 calls. I get a check. That's it. End of story. I don't even talk to the owner. I don't even talk to him for like 2 months. He never calls me, I never call him. He's just opening up new schools. So yeah, oh yeah, you got to have a tracking number. You absolutely have a tracking number. And I haven't tried the whisper feature on trying to get a new client, you know, where you send him calls and you say, this call came from Fritz Thorpe or whatever. You know, I haven't done that, but I wouldn't be opposed to it. I think you're better just trying to call them personally or get a salesperson and to try to, you know, start with a small business, a small school, and just talk to them and say, what if we just sent you a few calls and see if you like the quality, and if you do, would you be willing to pay $10 a call? You know, if they're good students. I mean, I understand you make about $7,000, so I think you'll get your money back. That's it. But what number do you send the calls to? I send the calls to their phone number. Yeah, they get the calls, but it goes through one of my tracking numbers. Yeah. So, yeah, they tell me what phone number. If they have an 800 number, then I send all the calls there. If they have separate numbers at each location, I don't like to use different tracking numbers, and you don't have to have a different tracking number for each city either. I mean, you really don't. I mean, I don't. It doesn't make any difference to Craigslist or anyone else. I mean, I've used the same tracking number for like 4 or 5 cities. It doesn't matter. You still get calls. They're within range of my city, too. I'm not saying, but yeah, it's not a big deal. I don't care what tracking number you use. Just track it and make sure you switch on recording. You know, record the calls. It keeps your client honest. I mean, you have to do that. If a client ever says, well, I don't want you. I had one client say, oh, I'd like to use my own tracking number. I said, well, I just like to prefer to use mine. And he said, well, I'm just going to get my tracking number. And I said, well, I appreciate that, but I just don't think we can do business together. Good luck, and give me a call if you need any other service. I just hung up on him, because what they're trying to do is figure out how you're doing it and do it themselves. Well, they all do that, but some are more aggressive than others. So you have to set the rules. You know, I hate to give them free calls. I hate it. You shouldn't have to, and that's why calling on dentists or doctors or lawyers or pharmacy tech schools, I mean, they have money. I mean, it's not an issue. The only question is, do they want more clients or students? Do they want to double their business? You want an already successful business owner that is greedy. The main word is greedy. The more money they have, the more they want. And that's what you're looking for. They're hard to find. That's why if you go after too small of a client, they just don't have the budget. And they may not have the budget because they're just not aggressive. They're lazy. They have 10 students a session. You know these schools at 10 students make $100,000 a year. Just 10 students, a few times a year, they make $100,000 a year. So would you work hard? But they could have 3 times that working with you. 3 times they could make $300,000 a year by working with you guys. So, but if they're lazy, you're not going to make them. You're not going to make them a hard worker. Believe me, I've tried. It's not worth it. So go after people who are at least moderately successful already, and you'll go a lot further because they understand marketing, and you're not asking for any money up front. I mean, what's there to complain about? The only thing they can say is, well, the calls. I don't like calls from Craigslist. They're just not high quality. Well, I understand that, there are some low quality calls, but do you think that out of 100 calls, you might close a few of them. There might be 3 that are really high quality. Well, yeah. Well, that's about $10,000, and you're going to pay me, let's see, $1,500. I mean, you think that's a good return on your investment? Not bad. And what if you close 10? But see, they don't believe you because no one's ever done that for them before. I mean, nobody. I mean, there's no marketing person that can give them that kind of ROI. Nobody has ever done that. So they don't believe you. So you have to kind of show them, and make the phone ring. Get the accounts, get the phone ringing, just post like crazy for a day or two, and then lower the boom on them and get them into a contract if you can, for at least 30 days, and try to get per call. If the phone really rings in the city you're trying, then go by the call. If it doesn't ring a lot, then try to get a flat fee. At least $1,000, at least $1,000 a month. And you can get anybody enough calls that they'll be happy paying you $1,000 a month. So in this, if you're in the jobs category with the schools, I don't know about the other niches. I'll be trying them. I'll be trying this debt relief one tomorrow, so I'll let you guys know how many calls this guy gets. If that's all, if you guys don't have any questions, I'm going to shut her off and relax a little bit, and I'll start posting tomorrow. Any no more questions? Of course, you guys, I don't know if y'all have the software, if you don't, but if you don't, you know where to get it. Let's see. I'm going to cut this off. God.